there, come on in. Welcome to our home. This is my husband, Jim, and my name is Lorna, and we're your hosts for this virtual Giving in the Garden event to benefit Hospice East Bay. Originally, we had hoped to be welcoming all of you into our garden where we could enjoy each other's company, but we hope you'll enjoy yourselves while watching this presentation, maybe from your own garden. Our goal this evening is for each of you to learn more about what Hospice East Bay does, including how it delivers services to patients and families during this pandemic. We have 4 presenters who will share a little bit about their area of service. In the end, we will have an opportunity to support these wonderful programs and services. Now I would like to introduce Annika Reza, my co-chair for this event.
Hi, as Lorna said, I'm Annika Reza, her co-chair, and this is my husband, Ken.
Hello.
We're excited to be here in this lovely setting, and thank you so much, Lorna and Jim, for being our hosts today. We all wish that we could be doing this together in person, but we know that social distancing is critical these days. We also know that in the future we'll be doing this again together and sharing a bite to eat and toasting Hospice of the East Bay in person. We hope that you've all received the tote bag that was delivered to you. Lorna and I thoroughly enjoyed putting these together, and we want to thank our volunteers and the staff for helping to deliver them to all of you. We also want to acknowledge all our volunteer committee members who helped put the event on. We are so grateful to Diana, Kathy, Jill, Lorna, Susan, Patty, Cindy, Kathleen, and all the staff at Hospice of the East Bay. At this time, it would be my pleasure to introduce Cindy Silva, our board chair, and Cindy Hatton, our president and CEO, for a few words and a toast.
Good evening. I'm Cindy Silva, and I have the honor of serving as the chair of the board of Hospice East Bay this year. And I am delighted to be able to welcome you to this evening's event.
Hi, I'm Cindy Hatton. I've had the pleasure of serving as the president and CEO of Hospice of the East Bay for the past 11 and a half years.
I am certain that we can all agree these are challenging times, but they're also very interesting times and disappointing times because we cannot be together for this event. But due to the magic of technology like this, we are able to come together, and we are so delighted to have you with us.
Tonight, our amazing committee is transporting you virtually into these lovely gardens and allowing us to share some of our creative programs that support our patients and families and how your support helps make those programs possible. I'd like to thank our 2 chairs of the committee, Annika and Lorna and their committee, for the work that they've done to organize this evening. I'd also like to thank Lorna and Jim for hosting this evening and hope that next time we'll be able to be with them in their garden.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't also thank our community partners for their support to make this evening's event possible. And Clara Pharmacia, Marsh & McLennan Agency, LandLogic, City National Bank, The Corridor Group, Graham Hitch Cremation and Memorial Center, and Total Triage.
So a little technical reminder. By keeping your Zoom on mute and open your chat window. Using your chat, you can connect with us if you have any questions during the event, and we will have someone reach out to you. You will also use the chat during the auction to make a gift. Jerry will explain more when we get to that part of the program.
And just in case you were thinking of leaving early, don't, because at the very end of the event will be a special raffle in which all of us are entered to win. And it's a raffle of a garden art by noted local artist Leslie Safarick. She is a favorite of our hosts, Lorna and Jim, who have several pieces of her art in the garden. And you must be present to win. So now, Cindy Hatton and I are inviting you to raise your glasses for a toast. We would like to toast Hospice of the East Bay for their work on behalf of our community, and all of you for your generous support of our organization, which makes it possible for us to do the work that we can. Cheers.
Now, let's start our program. It's my pleasure to introduce Brittany Takoff, our board-certified music therapist, to talk about music therapy's therapeutic impact on our patients and families.
Hello, my name is Brittany Tajkov. I'm a board-certified music therapist with Hospice of the East Bay. I have had the honor to support individuals and families in the last portion of their lives, including the uses of music for comfort, connection, and legacy. I invite you today to experience a small portion of what we provide to patients and families. So first, make sure that you are muted, as you may want to partake in some of these experiences. To start, feel free to take a deep breath in and out. Or maybe simply take a moment to pause. There are times when the patients and families we serve need music therapy to help them feel more comfortable, feel less pain, or to slow down. With each strum of the Reverie harp, may you have a moment to breathe. During these times, creativity has also been a key to connection. Using the keyboard over FaceTime, I have guided multiple families in singing together and joining together with music. This is often very personal to the family. You may take a moment now to consider what role music has taken on your life. You may think about what song may be the most meaningful to you and your family. For tonight, I invite you to join in the singing of Lean on Me. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. And it is never too late to honor a loved one. A recurring song that has been shared and requested by families in recent months is I Hope You Dance. For one woman, I supported her in rewriting the song with the broader community in mind. The song also incorporated her heartbeat as a way of relating the lyrics to the feelings in her heart. As I stood outside of her home and we admired her garden at our last visit together, tears of joy filled her eyes. For her, music therapy helped in holding space for sadness, fear, and joy. I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat, but always have that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. Forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me you'll give life a fighting chance. When you get the choice to sit it out or dance, pursue what you want, forge your own way. Pursue what you want, forge your own way. We hope we can continue to provide more music therapy services to more patients and families at Hospice of the East Bay. Thank you. Now I would like to introduce Joe Lamello, the Bereavement Services Manager.
Hello, my name is Joe Lumello. I'm the Manager of Grief Support Services at Hospice of the East Bay. I'd like to take a moment to discuss grief during the time of COVID. As you already may be experiencing, the pandemic and the need to practice social distancing is preventing many of us from being with the ones we love most right now. And for those of us coming to terms with the loss of a loved one during this time, the inability to receive in-person support leaves us grieving in isolation. This pandemic is currently preventing us from participating in rituals such as memorial services, religious ceremonies, and funerals, and we're left searching for closure. This delays and further complicates our grief journey. If you're coping with the death of a loved one, here are some suggestions that may help. First off, seek out new ways to stay connected with your support system through conference calling platforms like Zoom, social media, and messaging apps. While it's not the same as being face-to-face with those you love, being able to have some sort of routine connection with those that know you best can help ease feelings of isolation. Minimize the time spent on news and avoid social media posts that will increase your levels of anxiety around current events, especially now when you're already dealing with the many emotions that arise during the grief process. The additional stress will only further compound your bereavement experience. Find balance between the time needed to experience feelings of grief and activities that are restorative in nature, those that replenish your mind, body, and spirit, like yoga, exercise, or a walk in the park, or even a drive down the coast. This balancing act is different for every grieving individual, so keep an open mind and eventually you'll find what works best for you. Now, if you're supporting someone through their grief process, consider coordinating family and friends and host a video chat with the grieving individual. Book days and times in advance for these conversations to take place and keep to that schedule. Every chance to create consistency in a chaotic world helps counter feelings of helplessness and isolation. Help with daily chores and death-related tasks. Rather than ask your friend what they need, just do it. Mow the lawn. Make a grocery run. Take the trash containers to the curb for pickup. If you feel comfortable, help plan a virtual memorial service or complete an obituary notice on behalf of your grieving friend. Each task off their plate allows them more time to process their feelings of grief. Share stories of the deceased. You'd be surprised how many individuals want to hear and share stories of their departed loved ones, but often feel uncomfortable doing so, fearing the discomfort of others. So start the conversation and see where it goes from there. Leave prepared meals or special treats on your friend's doorstep, or perhaps a living plant, or any other thoughtful gift of love and support. And above all, be a compassionate presence. Avoid the urge to make your friend's grief go away or change how they're feeling. Rather, accompany them on their journey, offering support and encouragement along the way. And please know that if you or someone you know is in need of support, Hospice of the East Bay offers our bereavement services not only to family and friends of our patients, but to anyone in the community in need, and there's never a cost for the support we provide. Currently, due to social distancing requirements, all of our grief support services are available virtually, and information on what we offer is available on our website at hospiceeastbay.org. Once there, just follow the link to the grief services page. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Thank you for allowing me to share this information with you. Take care and stay healthy.
Thank you so much, Joe. And now let's learn about our very special Pep Pal volunteers.
Hi, I'm Barbara, and this is Julie, my 10-year-old golden retriever who's been volunteering with Hospice of the East Bay since she was just 1. And there's 2 areas we volunteered. We volunteer visiting traditional clients, but also the Bridge program, which is the program designed to help individuals who have lost a loved one grieve and cope. One evening in the Bridge program, we were with the little kids. And Julie was next to a young man about 10 years of age with his arms around her, and it was his turn to share what was going on in his life, and he chose not to, but then he said, "Julie wants to share though." and he proceeded to describe his own week through Julie's voice. Julie had a lousy week. Julie was mad all the time. Julie didn't want to do her homework. And the facilitator then probed more about the young man's feelings by asking Julie questions. It's truly powerful, and I found out later the young man had never shared before. One of my most memorable experiences with traditional hospice clients was a woman who lived with her daughter. And she'd lost a lot of mobility, so she was in a hospital bed in the daughter's living room. And each time when Julie would come down, the daughter very kindly had an ottoman set up right next to the bed so Julie could jump up and put her head on the bed. And Mom would pet her. As her disease progressed, the daughter would put Mom's hand on Julie's head, and she would pet her that way. On our last visit, I called to confirm the time to come down and was told, you know, I don't think you should. Mom really hasn't woken up today. I said, let's go anyway. So we went down. Julie jumped up on the ottoman, put her head on the bed. The daughter gently put Mom's hand on Julie's head, but Mom was asleep. And in a bit, she asked her mom, Mom, Julie and Barbara have been here for quite a bit, so I'm going to send them home now, if that's okay. Mom didn't open her eyes, but Mom shook her head. No. So there we were, thinking she wasn't even aware we were there. And instead, Julie was bringing her true comfort. It's been an honor to volunteer with Hospice of the East Bay. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Camila, and this is Layla. She is 6 years old, and she went through the ARF training program, Tony LaRussa's program in Walnut Creek, to become a pet pal. And one visit that sticks in our mind as great memory is a woman who was in an assisted living facility. She was very much to herself, kept to herself. The daughter said, no interaction with people, no talking, don't expect much. So that's fine, but we'll see how it goes. And the daughter didn't think she would be able to make it, which was okay too. We just said we would talk to her later, and the day of the visit came around, and Layla got to meet a lot of people because there happened to be an event in the main room. So it was very busy. But we were making the rounds, saying hello, getting to the patient, and I did see her sitting with her hands in her lap, staring at the floor, and just as the daughter had said. And right as we were approaching our patient, the daughter was walking in. I didn't even realize she could make it that day. And Layla approached the patient, her mom, and just lit up. She just lit up, and she was so animated, talking to Layla, asking me all about her. What is she? How old is she? Where did you find her? Everything. And the daughter had tears in her eyes. I had tears in my eyes. It was just very, very special that day. So we've enjoyed every minute of our Pet Pal volunteering at Hospice of the East Bay. It's been really, really fantastic. Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Jan Montaigne, and this is my sidekick Piper. I feel very fortunate to be part of Hospice of the East Bay. It's an organization that really values what pets can do for people as they're coming to the end of their life. Piper and I have been with Hospice for 7 years, and we plan on continuing as long as we can. Right, Pipe? I get so much enjoyment out of watching Piper and how she interacts with the patients she's met over the years. In 2015, Piper and I met Rosa. Rosa had completely stopped communicating, and her niece Anna, who had taken care of her for a very long time, was pretty upset. Well, you never know what's going to happen when your pet meets someone for the first time, and sometimes you're in for a real treat. I placed Piper on Rosa's lap, and Rosa slowly started stroking her soft coat. And then, all of a sudden, Rosa started talking away in Spanish to Piper. I looked up at Anna, her niece, and I could see her eyes welling up with tears of joy. It was a pretty cool moment. Each week, Piper and I would go and visit Rosa, and Anna would translate. Rosa would tell Piper over and over again what a special little angel she was. And of course, Piper agreed. Each week, they would have a snuggle, and sometimes they'd fall asleep, and then they'd wake up and they'd just pick up right where they left off. When Rosa's life came to an end, Anna asked if Piper and I could come to the service. When we arrived at the church, we were escorted to the front pew, and there at the front of the church was this very large picture of Rosa and Piper. We had to be there, Anna said, because everybody in the family knew who Piper was. Yes, it is hard when we have to say goodbye to the patients that we become close to. But I believe that we've brought a little joy and comfort into their life, and that makes me feel good and know that I want to continue visiting patients with Piper for as long as we can.
Aren't those pet pals amazing? And now, here's Laura Bakar to tell you about Bruns House.
As you can imagine, there have been many changes here at the Bruns House over the last few months. What I can honestly say is one of the things I'm most grateful for is that there are also many things that haven't changed. Bruns House is still a place where we give extra TLC and patients get to share their wisdom with us as well. In this very area, just a few short weeks ago, we had a patient who was here who would come out to this area several times a day to have her smoking time. Our hospice aides would accompany her out here, and on this hydrangea right behind me, there was a beautiful blossoming hydrangea blossom, and it was beautiful blue. And as the patient and the HHA would be out here, the hospice aide would say, "I think we should cut this and take it to your room." And the patient would say, no, not yet. It's not time yet. And as that patient declined and was no longer able to make it out here, our hospice aide cut that blossom and took it into her room and put it at her bedside. And that patient, now with a very weak voice, said to our hospice aide, "See what happens when you wait." As you can imagine, the cost to run the Bruns House can be considerable. And every year, we run at a budgeted loss of approximately $500,000. And this is to account for the fact that we have a 24-hour, 7 days a week RN on staff. We have hospice aides, we have LVNs and security warrants. We have physicians and nurse practitioners that make visits daily. We have social workers, we have spiritual care. We have administrative support staff. We have pharmacists. So as you can see, it takes a lot of different disciplines to run the team that provides the care here at Bruns House. I want to make sure that I take an opportunity now to just say thank you so much. It's a heartfelt thank you. We often say that the Bruns House is a gift to the community. We know that we would not be able to provide this great service of quality end-of-life care without your support. And I just want you to know, every single day that this team is taking care of patients, we can feel your presence behind us, and for that we are extremely grateful. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Laura. And now I would like to hand it off to our auctioneer, Jerry Goldstone.